The next step in this project is to draw out your portrait. I like to get sample portraits from magazines. A photo that has really good highlights and shadows is always nice to work with, and especially to demonstrate for students so they can really differentiate between the highlights and the midtones and the shadows. A simple way to grid your drawing is to take your printout, or if you have a digital image, you can use griddrawingtool.com online and do the same thing. But I will print out or use a magazine portrait and then just fold it in quarters. And then I will divide my paper up into quarters. When I have my students make any sort of straight line on their papers, I will have them mark the top and the bottom of the line and then connect those lines so they get a straight and even line. So after you have your grid drawn out on your paper, then you're just going to go about the process of drawing out your image. So you can work 1 quarter at a time. Sometimes I will get the entire contour drawing of the face complete before I go in and add details. But I like to use this method because it's not as detailed as using a full grid, but it does give you pretty good placement. The nice thing about drawing over top of your watercolor background is that you can erase whenever you're using a number 2 pencil. You can edit as much as you need to. you will notice that I go back and redraw the eyes a couple of times just to get that correct placement. And I'm not especially worried about the portrait looking exactly like the magazine image, but I do want to get that really kind of smiley eye, that charisma that she's showing. I want to reflect that in my final piece. Now, this project also works if you want to do this for self-portraits, or if you want to do this just from a portrait of somebody that's important to your students or to yourself. But don't be afraid to edit whenever you're drawing. Go back, erase as many times as you need to. I tend to be a little bit sketchy whenever I draw, then go back and tighten up my lines. Once you get that final drawing complete, then you will go back in and erase the grid lines.